Hi, everyone. We're not ready yet either, but we'll give you a minute to get ready and then we're going to start this show, okay? So hold on.
10 seconds. Ten seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
How dare you!
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore, your morning dose of creative conversation and coffee with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, Facebook famous YouTuber, and former mortician's assistant. Get ready to start your day off right.
Hi, everybody. How the heck are you? Welcome to the Monday. Oh, the last day of February 28th, 2022 episode of Nevermind the Furthermore. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. Despite the news and everything else that's going on. Sorry for the flub on the start there, but it's being a morning. So anyway, but we've made some Tim Hortons to make ourselves feel better. And so we're going to plow on, and we want to thank everyone for being here. And we also want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics for their sponsorship of today's episode. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Hey, you write an incredible book and try to sell it without a fantastic cover. It's going to be hard to do, but if you want to make it easier, then you need to contact Plasma Fire Graphics. Their work is amazing, and they're universally accepted by a whole bunch of other publishers because they're so amazing. In fact, you mentioned Jeffrey Hayes, and they go, ooh, you're going to have a great cover there, and you will have a great one when you contact Plasma Fire Graphics. Check out their Facebook page and look at all their samples. Published samples, not just something they whipped up in their spare time, but things that are on actual books. They go over to plasmafiregraphics.com and get some more samples and contact Jeffrey for his independent creator-friendly rates. You'll be glad you did. And that's Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And we are a part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, 7 days a week of information and education and illumination, all kinds of things that begin with a vowel. But anyway, please check us out. We've got some great stuff coming up this week, so check out our Facebook page and please give it a like if you would, so follow our exploits. And speaking of following our exploits, one of the things we got to do today is work up our blog, for our exclusive blog, I should say, for my Patreon subscribers. They're the only people who get to read what's on my innermost thoughts on that day. God help them. But anyway, please check us out, because for your monthly financial support, which can be as low as $1 a month, you get stuff for it. And anyway, if you want to see what we're offering, go to www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. We're glad you're all here, whether you're watching us on the rerun or live. And we hope you check out our other shows on the network. All right. And please like, share, and subscribe all the stuff we got going, all right? And let's see here. We've got a plethora of stuff here. And we start out with the Historical Fencing Guild every Friday night at 8 p.m. Great show on the Rising Tide Network. Happy Monday morning, Nevermorians. May your creativity blaze forth like a beacon of hope and joy. I hope so. And let's get this party started with a great pre-show as the one, the only Mighty Manatee Man, Master of Marketing, rises from the depths to greet the week. That's how I'm feeling today. And this morning I'm doing a bit of practice art to try to get back and forth before breakfast with BKM and the Nevermorians. The only way to improve is to put in the hours. Very wise, Nick. Definitely, for sure. On the thumbnail, BKM Coffee Skills Boss level. That's right, my gun. Don't try this at home, kids. And good morning, Carl. Good morning, Nick. And good morning, Michaela Jade. Happy to see you all here. Exactly, Nick. Keep working till it works out. And agreeing with Carl. And good morning, Donna, Carly. Mwah, glad to see you. Glad you and Carl are both feeling better. These guys have been under the weather recently, darn it. And everyone's saying hello. And by the way, join me and my friends tonight for Tidbits and Scribbles, 8 p.m. Central Time on her YouTube channel. Please give that a subscription. And I guess I better wake up and stop trying to nap here. Oh, yeah, I better do that too. And I'll get a nap before the Michaela fitful sleep last night. Yeah, a number of us talked to a number of people. Last night was, of course, the way, if you read a newspaper or look at the news, you're likely to find reasons to stay up at night. And things I used to say that have made a comeback. Get your nose out there. That's Daddy's coffee. Does the new cat like coffee? That's a good way to keep it up all night, I'm telling you. And good morning, all. And good morning to Kathy Jackson. Mwah, my beloved. How are you? Hope you're doing well today, sweetie. Good to see you. It's always good to see you. And this weekend's illness has made me more motivated to finish my current work in progress. Yeah, I get that too. I get that so badly. Yesterday, I didn't quite get everything done that I wanted to because there is a project that Cookie is actually the editor on for Prose Press. And I'm one of the contributors. It's like the publisher contacted her and said, listen, we've got a book you can work on. Do you mind bossing your husband around? And she says, what do you think I do anyway? So yesterday was a vigorous day of writing and rewriting, plus editing another book for Prose Press that I'm working with, and fell behind on that, plus stuff I need to get done on my own, and other factors. And it's a wonder that all that's in here is coffee. You know what I'm saying? I'm having a Monday, but that leads me to something I want to announce. Wednesday we are having an early episode of Nevermind the Furthermore, okay? And we're going to have a couple people on that have some Kickstarters that are launching right about now. This is the only I love talking to them is the thing, and people enjoy listening to them. And so far, we've got a couple other people we're going to be talking to, but so far we've got Glenn B. Fleming's going to talk about his new Jack Kirby book, and Matt Knowles has another great project going, and his Kickstarters are out of this world. He's got such imaginative thank you reward levels that I definitely love, and I love talking to these guys anyway. So we're going to have a little conversation on Wednesday morning, and we're going to start an hour early, not at our usual 10, but we're going to start at 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's 9 o'clock Eastern, and we're still going to have your comments and everything, but we'd love it if you'd ask some questions of these guys and just make them feel at home, okay? Because otherwise we'd have a clever title pending, but it's just not working out for that right now for a number of reasons. So anyway, glad you're feeling better, Carl, but this is to let everybody know what we're up to on Wednesday, okay? And Collie comes in, Mommy, Daddy won't give me any coffee, and the kitty is pouting. Oh, Carl. And need to close down that duet of books with an ending that is pleasing to more people. What's this? And that kid does not need any more energy, says Karl Witsman. And Joe Bachman, good to see you. Just popping in to say hi and give a like to the show. Thank you. Please like this show, everyone, especially on YouTube, all right? Seeing through 3 days of construction training. Yippee. So happy for you, Joe. I can imagine. I can imagine what it's like. I've taken asphalt training before, so Uh, may God have mercy on your soul, Joe. But I'm glad you came by here to give us a like. We love you, man. And poor Joe, I know. And yay for Karl, I have enough cover images to send you to. And oh, Joe, that sucks. Yeah, seriously. Having formerly worked in the construction trade, I can only imagine. And email them whenever you like. And oh, sorry you didn't sleep well, Karl. And thanks. I just won't enjoy. You'll live it, but you would just won't enjoy it. I thought he was talking about the show for a moment. I thought Joe knew construction. Yeah, I did too. I'm as puzzled as you are, Donna. And Karl says if places don't provide ongoing training, new techniques will not be tried. And people will say nobody told me that. Makes it tough on the folks that know what they are doing. That's true. And being a writer, and a publisher, you know exactly what that's like. It's not that I learned everything I needed to know 10 years ago. A lot of what I know from 10 years ago is no longer applicable. The field changes, and you got to stay on top of it. But enough of that, says the Historical Fencing Guild. Before we get to the important business of plugging our projects and books, what's next for you guys? Michaela says, I'm in the middle of Warriors, honored to get it ready to send to my editors. Excellent. Hope our discussion yesterday helped you out. And Callie, stay away from the fireball. That's right. No booze for that kitten either. If the cat doesn't drive us insane, I plan to work on some book covers next. And Callie, that's not the right kind of mouse. Oh, and what about you, Nick? Seriously, what about you? You're always imploring us to tell how we're keeping busy. How about you, brother? I saw some art from you this morning. Loving it. Loving it. And hi, Skunk Rocker. Mwah, how are you? And everyone's saying hello, and I'm saying hello to Ted Davies. Ted Davies Artistry. Good to see you, sir. Check out this man's shows at 10 a.m. on Tuesday mornings and Thursdays, as well as 7 p.m. on Fridays. Check out our Facebook page for the Rising Tide Broadcast Network and see. And I finally got that thing done, says the Skunk Rocker. I had a lot of issues mechanically. I learned about something I've never done before, and I always enjoy learning experiences. Yeah. Oh, me too, man. That's the thing. Like Joe Bachman's going through that training this morning, and he's probably thinking, Angel of Death, where is thy embrace? I would go to that simply because I don't know that stuff, a lot of it. That was the one thing I did like about my time I spent 1 year in construction, and between being a temp and being a full-timer at the water company, I learned a lot about water transmission systems and purification of water. And the thing is, of all your utilities, did you know water is the only one you must have? You can live without cable, believe it or not. You can live without your internet, but you'll die without water. Just put it out there. Anyway, but yeah, I love learning. I did enjoy. I took a course at Lakeland College in Mattoon, Illinois. I'm an asphalt technician, level 1. It won't go away ever. It's not like I have to renew my certification as if I would. But for a while when I was in construction, there was talk of me being in charge of the asphalt plant. And I'm glad now I didn't. That's messy work. But I learned about aggregates and the testing. I got to test like asphalt samples and such, and I'm more familiar with the process now, and it helped me when I went back to the water company. But yeah, I love learning new things too. That's why I'm in writing, and I'm always learning new things. And from the desk of the small press publisher, all morning to you, Joe. Glad to see you. Morning, Brian. Hope all is well with you, and ma'am, executive producer. She is well. She is at work. She's going to be enjoying a slight. I shouldn't say slightly. Rather. Increased day of temperature. Yeah, it's going to be about 50 degrees by the time she gets off work today, and we're both pleased with this. This sounds good, and I hope the project lead is happy with the results. Skunk, if you put that incredible talent into this, the same way you put it into Michaela Jade's book trailer, which we will be running later, then he or she will be doing cartwheels, and everyone's saying hello. And nearly time, folks. Be sure to have your coffee in hand and tray tables in the upright position. Let's kick the tire and light the fires. Oh yeah, that's great, Skunk. I agree, and good job, Skunk. Here's to you, Skunk. And Glenn B. Fleming is live on TED Talks tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. We were talking about his long-awaited Kirby book and DVD, now live on Indiegogo. Yeah, he sent it to me. I didn't get it till this morning though. and I wish I could run it, but we're gonna do him a solid here, and I think I heard the mail show up. That's way too early. But anyway, we're going to do him a solid here. And this is what he will be talking about on Wednesday. We'll have his new video up by then. But here is what Glenn B. Fleming is up to.
When they mined an area, they put down yellow tape right across that line, see? And if you walked on the wrong side of that yellow tape, you blew up.
Strange Tales 136. I remember it very clearly, and that was my first exposure to Kirby. And I wanted to show it to people.
Definitely check that out. That launches, I believe, tomorrow, and you want to get in on that. That is, I've read the book; it is amazing, and I'm gonna be getting my copy in a day or two. And when I do, we're gonna have a live opening of that thing. It's gonna be fun. And what a start to the show! Hold on, yeah, seriously, hold on to something. And Scott Carter says, "Yeah, once I get confirmation that everything is Gucci or not, I'll talk more about it. I can't wait for it." And Brian or Carl can send me a link. Where's my bucket? I've sent you the link, man. And congratulations from Ted Davies Artistry. And there the host is whining. And good morning, Cool Gamer. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. And Brian, we all are, man. It's cool. All right. It holds on to chair. Not sure what to expect next. That's kind of the theme of the show, Carl. We don't know what's going to happen next. I have no plans. And like, share, and subscribe. Excellent advice, Historical Fencing Guild. Whenever you see a show that you like on the YouTuberies here or on the Face of Books, the Book of Faces, rather, then please like it because it helps the broadcaster reach more people in search arguments, and it's a huge help to us. We definitely appreciate it. And Brian Abbott, hey Glenn, how you doing this morning? Couldn't get your video. I've tried to get your video to work here, but I can't. I'm on two different computers, unfortunately. Eric Radley says, "Good morning, never mornings." Good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope, and he's going to have his show launching soon. R&D Gaming. He and his son Rick Bradley and his son Donovan are going to be doing some gaming, talking about gaming history, and it's the perspective of an old school gamer versus a new school gamer, and why the old is always better. Anyway, but no, it's going to be a fun show. Rick Bradley's a fun guy, so is Donovan, and you're going to enjoy it, even if you don't care for games that much. And Scott Carter says, "I literally was able to put the final touches on the sort of secret project this morning at 2 a.m. So I was late to work, but hopefully now that the project is finished, that won't ever happen again." That is awesome. That is awesome. And, the Kirby campaign is on Indiegogo right now. Already got more than 50% to go. Excellent. Super. That's what. Put in a link, Glenn B. Fleming. That's what this is what this show is about. And Kelly, leave the lighter alone. That's right. Put down the gas can too while you're at it. And Robin Hoax is here. Robin, mwah, you sexy thing, you. How are you? Good to see you. Robin will be taking over the show in the immediate future, but I'm trying to persuade her to wear clothing for it is the thing. But anyway, be a more adult thing. Anyway, hello all newcomers. Donna, thank you very much. And hey everyone, hey Glenn, and good morning Multiverse from back of the cereal box. Check out that network on YouTube. Also go to johnpica.com for more information. And I'm on Pops Madness tonight at your 4 p.m. Good God Almighty, Glenn! You don't plan on sleeping anytime soon, do you? And well, I guess I should say technically finished, says the skunk rocker. The project lead could always ask me to fix things before it goes live, but right now I'm just hoping she's happy with the results. I bet she will be. That is awesome. And did you know that Rick Bradley is a huge horror fan, especially video games? But only 3 have actually made him jump, and one of those wasn't even a horror game, and another had the help of a cat with impeccable timing. Find out which one's on R&D Gaming, coming soon to the Rising Tide Network. Excellent. And I'm on Brian's show Wednesday, a busy week. That's right, don't forget, Wednesday morning we're starting an hour early. And we're going to have Glenn B. Fleming and Matt Knowles and maybe another guest or two. We're going to talk about Kickstarters and stuff, so bring your questions. We would appreciate it. And Carl, you're supposed to be the day shift. Skullcracker says, I kind of feel like Homer Simpson right now. Where is my live stream? Where's my live stream? Where's my live stream? And the kitten found me boring this morning, says Karl Witsman, so she decided to torment you today, you lucky gal, you. And Rick Bradley says, and if you are a fan of horror, then you should go to that address right there on Amazon and grab the 3 horror stories done by Mr. Rick Bradley himself, The Nightmare Collective, Marvin's Night Out, and the award-winning Pulp Reality #1, to say nothing of the very factual Tales of the Weird and Strange. And read that and see which one he is, weird or strange. I try to be both. And still worried about Saturday's show. I think it did not go over as well as I thought. I didn't get a chance to watch it that night. It was part of an ongoing thing. So anyway, we will have to check. I did stop by and I gave it a like. Oh, hold on a second. I got to put in my ears for this one. I got to put in my ears because somebody's showing up here. And he's always got something cool to say. So if you're ready there. If he's not ready, here he comes. And there he is. Mr.
You know I'm always ready, Brian. What are you saying? Low energy? Heck no. I've been up since 6. Let's hop and pop and knock it off. How is everybody doing this morning, folks?
Bye.
Hey, all right, cool. I want you guys to be sure to plug your stuff in the links. I'm apparently running the show while Brian goes to the bathroom or something. That's really cool because that's what we need, folks, in the morning. Right now, I know things are scary, and I don't know how long I'll have this platform, so I need to get on it. Remember, I put this in the comment, but Brian won't get to it till I'm done. Fear is a fight or flight reflex. I cannot affect the things on the other side of the world, nor can I go anywhere else on this big metal ball. So let's just chill, all right? We got 2020 and this negative brain box thing here taught us to, you could wade in it and just drown in the despair and fear and uncertainty. But that's the thing. That doesn't help anybody. That just spreads more negativity. It darkens the world, and I'm not here for it. I have neither the time nor the motivation to sit down and wallow in misery. It may be tempting, but folks, everyone watching this is a creator of something. We've got comic book creators, we got authors, we got artists, we got this goofy one-man storm of insanity breaking like a tidal wave over a normal Monday morning. But what's important is we all still have agency, all right? We aren't unconscious. We are not tied to the bed and things. I think of my buddy Luke Stone, who spent months not able to breathe on his own, and he's come back like a fire. And that's, right now, that's what I'm trying to do in my own small way. I'm doing my exercises. I'm doing my hand stuff. That's why I'm not putting out a lot of art. I got to build back up. And that's okay, because that is part of the process of building back up. We don't need to beat the other guy. We got to lap the version of ourselves that is sitting on the couch, not doing anything. Because it's tempting. I could be sitting on the couch right now, playing video games, having myself a grand old time, and probably eating something I shouldn't. But that won't move me forward, that won't move my friends forward, and that won't put any more light in the world. And we need it, folks. We've been through, I don't know about you, but we've been on a downhill slide since about 2019 worldwide. It's been rough. And I'm tired of it. But I can't change the world. I can't change the economy much, except for, offering to sell my books. The Simple Sword by Nicholas A. Tucker. I can't help people learn to sword fight. So don't be afraid to do what you can. This helps people learn to sword fight. They find power. They find a new aspect of their personality. They get to be the hero instead of just reading about that. That's what I'm about. That's why I do Hybrids of Sons of Gods with Luke Stone. More is coming with this. That man literally came back from the dead so that he could work on these games and some other important stuff, but really, it's the gaming. So let's keep our focus, people. Now, I know it's hard and it sucks, but there's no reason to let that hard and suck define us, because you're better than that. You're bigger than that. Good Lord Almighty, you have a lot more potential than that. And I wish I could just like put, this USB cable here, jack it into my brain and be like, here, guys, see yourselves as I see you, as your fans and readers see you. You guys build worlds out of literal nothing. I mean, previously that would make us deities. I mean, that is what makes us the paragon of animals. Yeah, we could get outrun by a cheetah or outswam by a shark, but they're not sitting here creating whole worlds out of nothing but the scraps of our tiny life experience threaded through the amazing creativity and imagination that we have been so blessed with. So this, folks, is what we need to do. Let me see. I'm not sure. I came on at 10:28. It's 10:28, so let me see. I'm not seeing any new comments. What?
You want some help?
It's up to you. I didn't mean to hijack your show.
No, you're doing great. I may leave.
Yeah. I've been getting up early in the morning, so, I do my thing. And since I can't be late at night, and people who know me used to know, I was the king of the hour of the wolf. 3 a.m., yeah, I'm getting my creative juices on. Medically, I can't do that, so I'm crashing at this ungodly hour of 10. Lost contact with everybody I know because they're all night owls and we were creative types. And I'm waking up between 6 and 8, and I'm like, what is this evil orb in sky, and why is it outside my bedroom window?
I know. It's like did like Russia launched those nukes we've been hearing about.
Apparently they do so on about a 24-hour cycle, and it's getting earlier and earlier.
I know. Why haven't we had the nuclear winter yet? That's what I want to know.
I think that's what that cold snap was. Apparently, it was just very, very brief.
I think you're right, man. But what a great message, Nick.
I heartily wish sunflower seeds on everyone who needs them, and I hope you know that reference.
I do. Didn't work in Japan though. See, I told you I've been following that.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing though. I watch what's going on in the news, and they're like, and now our 24-hour coverage, and I'm like, nope, click, because I can't change it. You know what I mean? I check daily to see, so have we entered? Nope. Is he still being an idiot? Yup. Because it is. Vladdy Daddy has a hard-on for Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't want it. I don't think the Russian people want it. I don't think the Russian soldiers want it. So I'm not miffed really at anybody else involved because, it's Putin on the Ritz over there just trying to tap dance his way across Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And since he can't do that, he's a little, I'm going to saber rattle. Don't you try to scare me. Man, do not try to scare me. I don't roll with that KGB. You can be KGB. I got KFC. We know how to handle things.
That's right. We know how to do chicken right.
That's right. It is finger licking good. And that's
right.
What we need. We need to find our KFC. Find what you do that's you and just put it out there. If you're, either the little stick man or it's a bow tie, great point of debate. But, see, and your thing is finger licking good chicken, well, then make the best. That's how you fight the negativity. Me, sometimes I get out of bed, like I've been given a little squeezy sponge. They went from saying you will never be able to build up your strength to a little squeezy sponge.
Mm-hmm.
Saying I can. It's taken me 6 months to work up to being able to spend part of my day going this and hating while loving that little squeezy sponge.
Yeah.
That's me getting better. That is defiance in the face of entropy, and that's what humanity should be about. You know, you realize everything in the natural order just kind of falls apart. That's the way of things. Now, the problem with the way of things is I don't care. As long as I'm here for, I may only have a couple minutes before my brain goes and drops me, or I may have 50 years. I don't know. Heck, they might jack me into the Matrix and I may become a Robotnik out there for eternity.
Ooh.
The universe is a wide open and diverse thing, and I refuse to believe that we are in the worst of all possible outcomes, whatever CERN tries to do. And even if we are, let's make it better. Like, what's the excuse? Oh, no, you're in a grim, dark setting. Brother, I'm going to be drawing Hello Kitty on those mecha just to mess with things. That's my thing. That's what I love about the people in the chats here. We all got up. Hey, look at, like, 2020. We don't know what's going to happen. We lost 100,000 people in America. And it was tragic. But the tragedy and the loss is not what defines Americans. It's certainly not what defines humanity. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that a bunch of crazy people went, you know what? No, I'm going to take care of my stuff. And they took care of business. And it's, I don't care what the governments do. I don't care what the big companies do. I don't care what the big two do. Even though you're flashing soups at this moment, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with soups. I think we need the spirit of soups, and the spirit of cat from back in the day. But we don't need the despair. Everything is lost. Game of Thrones. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, James JRR. Whatever. Take a Xanax and get some coffee. Maybe touch grass. I don't know what you need to do to not be depressed. Seek help, bro. But don't go around trying to depress everybody. This world does not need that. We have taxes. But
that's true. Now, I want to shout somebody out, Nick. You talk about somebody who's got the right spirit. Willow Schuyler.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Willow Schuyler. This morning, she posted something about how between real life and what's going on overseas, she's having some bad anxiety things. And you know what? I'm listening to her and I feel every bit of it because I'm undergoing a certain lack of awesomeness right now. But the thing is what I want to say is at the end of her video, after she's almost in tears describing how things are affecting her, the last thing she says, if you're having trouble, give me a shout when I get off work.
Yes, because it's this funny thing. Nobody is strong all the time. Nobody is happy all the time. I'm not even. Shock and gas for it doesn't happen.
They got us sitting down for that.
But what's funny is humanity leans. And do you know why we lean when things are going wrong? Because if somebody else leans the other way, we can prop each other up. That's how I've stayed married 20 years. It's not easy. And I won't lie and say it is. We all have our challenges. Some go away. Some you just have to go, this sucks. How can I live with it? But there's no reason, folks. I know it's scary. And it's like, I've had so many people, why aren't you? And people will be mad at me because I'm not upset. They're like, are you not paying attention? I have a triple primary in my degree. I did a triple primary in English, business, and history. History, right here. I didn't pick this one for obvious reasons. Right here. History. I have seen this happen. Okay? It comes and it goes. I paid attention to the technology, and I am relatively calm on the world. Am I worried about people being dumb because they're being dumb? That you have to be aware of. And there's a difference between being aware and being panicked. And I'm anxious. I'm probably one of the most anxious people I know. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't get caffeine anymore for other reasons. Mm-hmm. None. But you get to choose. And that's what people don't say. You always have the power to choose how you approach a problem. And sometimes your emotions will win and you will fail and it will all come crumbling down. But my man, I want to say it was Bruce Lee. It might not have been, but fall down 7, get up 8. that's all you got to do. It's real simple. It just sucks sometimes. Now, let's see. Brian was asking me what I have been doing.
Yes. What are you doing, Nick?
What have I been doing?
What have you been doing?
My Patreon members, like Brian, know I am slowly tinkering away as my hands let me type, because there's still meat hooks when I get near a keyboard. On a new book, the Swordmaster's Guide, the Poor Swordmaster's Guide to Arms and Armor, because people keep asking me questions about how do I make this stuff, and how hard is it, and where do I get the resources. So I want to make a condensed resource on that, and it's very there's a rough outline that my Patreon readers get. That right now is my primary nonfiction. I have to have a nonfiction work. I'm trying to get my hands together to redo something I did in about 2020. I want to say 2020. I got a wild hair up, and I'm like, my hands won't work, but I haven't drawn, so I'm going to draw anyway. Not for public consumption. And I did a little project that was, I don't know how many pages, but it was Paul Bunyan Kaiju Slayer.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. I've been waiting for that.
And I actually did a full rough draft knowing that the art kind of sucks. Because at the time, all I could do is sucky art. Here's a trick, guys. You can edit a written page. You can redraw art. I would rather fill a book with stickmen, wobbly stickmen at that, and then come back and go, hey, I'm a little better. Let me revisit this. Mm-hmm. So I want to revisit that a bit. I'm still trying to track down both a good website, because I don't have a hub site. It's like, people don't know I have 2 web channels. I have 2 YouTube channels. Mm-hmm. I'm on 4 or 5 if you catch me on any given day, because I'm on Luke Stone's Nerd Bacon on Thursday mornings now. Because
check that out. It's a great show.
That was fun, and he's doing a bit of the Kickstarter pluggy stuff, and we just get a chat and brighten up mornings, because both he and I are now morning people, so we can't do our evening late shows. I still do the evening Historical Fencing Guild. I started that to help people when 2020 was starting, and now we're 3 seasons in. I mean, I have to look. I'm getting, if I'm not up to 100 episodes, I'm starting to get real close.
If you've been doing it if you have been doing it for 3 years, you're probably close to 150, even with weeks off.
Yeah, I mean, because I think I've only taken 3 weeks off from it.
Yeah.
Now, there have been a couple weeks where I tried to get on, and the net drops out in my lovely chats for 15, 20 minutes on my black screen, because it would bump me off the net, but not let me get on to shut down my own stream. That was fun for a while. We had to get a workaround for that. But thank you so much for getting me hooked up on StreamYard, by the way, Brian.
Oh, you're more than welcome. I'm a total groupie for those guys.
Oh, no.
It is one of the. I think it is one of the best services out there if you're a broadcaster.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're not technically adept, especially that.
Oh, I'm on. But I want to see, we have a rare opportunity here, something that doesn't happen often.
Yes.
We get to force Brian to face the mirror of how awesome he is.
Oh.
Yeah, no, see, if you turn me off, we'll just talk about you. We're going to talk about Brian behind his back, because he's got shape.
No,
like, you are probably the single most important person I have met since I graduated college in 2008, and in the top 3 or 4 of my life. And one of them's my wife.
Better be.
Okay? So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
the other one better be my wife.
A couple are actually very negative forces. There have been some very, people think you're only shaped by the good. And I had some very negative forces in my life. When I first started learning to sword fight, I thought was a positive influence, was a very negative, and has dogged me to this day. But because of that adversity, and because of everything that individual threw my way, and some really bad stuff I've had to endure, slanderous stuff, bad stuff, I've been in a position to help people that I wouldn't have been able to help if I were part of the old organization. So instead of being mad at him, which probably cheeses him, I'm like, well, you know what? Thank you for being a dick, because that, whether the world acknowledges your dickdom or not, it put me on a path to help other people and do something very different. While especially while I come back and I recover, and I'm lucky. I have a new student looking in. I have a new lightsaber I have to do videos with, for folks who know, because I'm that big of a geek. I tried to do a review because it came like 5 minutes before my show because it was a late delivery.
Yeah.
And I lost it. Like I could not focus at all. It was I believe the phrase geekgasm was used in my chats, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'll make sure. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, okay. Cool.
We'll get back to the comments eventually. So
I'm following the comments vaguely, but just to make sure there's nothing actually directed. As long as you guys are supporting each other in the background, which is what I want to see. No person who runs a channel could love more unless they have like the feed me everything ego, and I'm just not that guy. I was blessed with a very not attractive face, so I developed personality instead.
You're a centerfold, Nick. Don't lie.
Oh, yeah. Chunky Monkey Weekly.
Right. Or monkey meat. Monkey meat.
Monkey meat. Wow. Bread of the matter. That's a little crusty. Anyway, but yeah, and that's what's cool. It's like I was on the show and Luke went nerd because somebody said something about velociraptors are actually small, and I'm like, oh no, there's another dinosaur. It's called Dionysius, and it's the Jurassic Park. It just doesn't have the cool name.
Right.
I'm like, nerd? What? Oh my god! If you could see the mountain of stuff around me, because I'm still rebuilding my office, and redoing your office when your hands don't work, this is a challenge. But I've got Domo-kun and Harley Quinn and a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man looking at. I have a wall of cool. It is my wall of cool or wall of geekdom, depending on how much personality I have. Lydia's in the corner, egging me on and encouraging me that if I goof up, I will be consumed by the all-knowing undead darkness. And my Shoggoth's lurking in the corner. This is normal, right? This is my normal, and it's delightful. I get to wave at the corn sharks when they breach out of the fields of Earl Park, and life is good, folks. And yeah, I know that's what I'm saying. I can't change that, but it's not white stuff outside. When I step outside, I'm not going to be skating around. The worst I'm going to have to deal with is the neighbor cats who are trying to move into my front porch again. Which I would be fine with, except I'm allergic. So it's a song and dance. It's like, okay, you guys can have your lunch over here, not where I sit. Thank you. But yeah, this is my big problems. But I think about the time, I got fired. I got fired. I lost my funding, and my trailer park I was living in at the time basically said they've been sold and everybody had to go. I got that information in 30 minutes.
Wow.
That was what I call a bad day. But the neat thing about a bad day like that, one, I'm living in what feels like a mansion to me. It's a busted up a little brick house to a lot of other people, but to me it's a mansion because it's mine. But that gives you perspective. When things get rough later, and they will, and they get cruddy on you, and maybe you're going to a convention, it's running late, your stuff isn't piled right, you left something, it's stupid. You left the stand at home. You have everything but the stand, so you have to jury rig it. We've all been there. And you're sitting there cussing yourself today, and con starts in 15 minutes. Stop right there. I want you to remember that. Crystallize that moment. It ain't 2020. People aren't dropping. We don't have, it's not January 6th. It's not September 11th, 2001. And as horrific as these events are, I bring them up not to depress, but to use them as points of perspective. Bad days suck. But despite many people's best efforts, I have a 100% survival rate up till now. I mean, I've had to duck bullets and poo to do it, but I got a 100, natural 20s every time to not die. That's me. So as long as there's life, there's hope. And that's what we need. We need that. And I sit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Usually I sleep in a little bit on Fridays because, I had to do my night show, but I'm getting better about that, obviously. I see you guys hop on and talking. We're putting out this book. We're putting out this. How do I get better? And nobody's demeaning each other. Nobody's like, oh, you know what? You suck. Even if somebody's creating something I don't dig, which happens, we all have different tastes. Not many people can rock 2 forms of Hawaiian print and a Clark Griswold Christmas t-shirt at the end of February. But, everyone should rock a fez. I just haven't found one in absolute melon size. But, nice. See? Fez. But that's okay, too. Because I'm out here doing what I can, and I would rather be, I have failed so much. I mean, the ground and I are on intimate, we are well knowing each other. See, what happened is I talked to somebody who, I was all for that. The ground and I, whoop, yep.
No, bad timing.
No, come forward. But I was blessed by somebody who, by an Irish individual, and unfortunately they stuttered at the wrong point, and they said, "May the ground rise up to meet your face," and it has, and I figured it out, but that is okay, because I get up, and while I'm on the ground, sometimes I find stuff, or I gain a new perspective. I believe everything happens for a reason. And sometimes it's like, this colossally sucks. And I can't know the reason. That's what faith is. Faith is going, there is a system bigger than me. And I know I can't understand it, but I just have to have a little bit of faith that it's going to work. And I'm not being specific. I'm not harping on anybody for anything. That's just...
He's talking about Facebook, people.
Facebook. Hey, that too, at least for now.
Yeah.
I'll get downloaded into the metaverse, whatever. But, I am the extreme older millennial, because apparently the millennials, 81, I came out, I was unveiled the same year as Elvira. That tells you how important 1981 was. Not Cassandra Peterson, the character of Elvira. But
she's closer to my vintage than yours.
That's true, but she has done nothing but improve, and I don't care. She is our mistress of the dark.
And I'm her portrait of Dorian Gray.
that Brian, on behalf of gothy geeks everywhere, fans of the absurd, and just people who like to see a cup runneth over, thank you. Now,
you're welcome.
I don't know if you realize this. We're living in my future right now. I went in the before times. You invited me to a convention thing that was being held in West Lafayette. And I was trying to go. Now, I got lost and I missed it entirely. Everything went wrong. The concept of parking, I still don't know where that place was. But I'm driving down the road and I get cut off by a bleeping robot. So I pull in, and I'm somewhere in West Lafayette, which is right next to Purdue University, which is kind of this engineering school. And I look around, and there are assorted drones, wah, 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 people are walking around. Most of them are staring at their little cell phones, So they're looking at their palm top computers, underlit by them, right? It's just getting dark. An airplane. I don't know what mad lad was in said airplane. Was really thinking about doing a touch and go on the roof of one of the buildings. I could count the screws on the drop wheels, okay?
Yeah.
People are walking around with glowing headphones, you know what I mean? E-cigarettes that are lit up. And I just like parked for a second in the middle of a cyberpunk movie. I'm waiting for Harrison Ford, much younger, in a long brown trench coat to walk by looking confused as it started to rain. And I'm like...
No, the replicants keep shorting out, yeah.
It's like... And then, I go down the road and it's normal again. Like, pop, I like parked in Eureka while nobody was looking and came out. Now, why does this matter? It matters because I look out my window and I see those big old pinwheels. I see the super turbines. And they are a futuristic, safe-ish energy production.
Right.
And, people tell me, well, there might be better ways. Of course there are better ways, it's tech. But instead of using the same tech from 1868, we're doing something. The future is literally in the middle of a freaking cornfield. I see electric cars because I don't hear them. Mm-hmm. This should be hopeful. This is like, I'm a sci-fi geek and from the 80s and not the pretty 80s. No, not like the Taco Bell 80s. I'm talking the wood paneling and orange carpeting 80s. Okay, that's my my temporal baseline. When TVs were these things, not much bigger than my computer, which blows my mind. And they weighed 6,000 pounds and had aluminum off the side, and you had your dial, and then you had the other dial to literally tune in the first dial. This, and now this. I mean, like, this thing that we all play stupid video games and look at sites we're not supposed to and, chat like our opinion matters in the large scope of things. This is magic. This has gone beyond, like, I can understand basic circuitry. Basic circuitry makes sense. Wire goes here, wire goes here, wire goes here. Battery, light bulb, yay! We are Arthur C. Clarke and no one's noticed. We're about to do a huge jump because a bunch of things are about to be declassified, which means that in 5-10 years they'll start showing up on the civilian market. Cool things. And that's the technological world. I mean, we've got games that are bringing comics. People, it's hard to get in the big two. I remember when all there was the big two. Like in the big two, and then you had zines that people handed in, with the Xerox machine. I'm a proud member of that era. Like, yeah, let's run off and sneak into a computer lab that's supposed to be closed to print off your stuff under a flashlight. Ha, statute of limitations. You can't get me now. I mean, it's like whispered mentions of this is the secret code to make the printers work. The age of shady, like MacGyvering your way through nothing. And look at these people on our feed. And it's our feed because I'm on here now. I've borrowed it.
Yes, you are. You may share. Believe me, I want you to. In fact, we've got some good news on here.
Yes, I'll take good news. Hit it.
Sarah, good morning, darling. I was called a few minutes ago, and I'm officially employed at Hampton Inn in Mattoon to do the special sanitizing to keep everyone safe. Perfect job, #rising tide. And she's fully vaccinated, which is what she clinged to once she find out results. And there was something apparently earlier. But don't know about you guys, but weekend was nuts. Great morning. Mom was tested for COVID, 1 to 3 days for results. Hopefully she didn't study and she'll fail the test. But anyway, good news on Sarah. Yay, you, Sarah.
Congratulations. You are like our local Polly Perrette, Abby Shuto. Hey, mortician's humor. I was almost one. I almost had your job, believe it or not.
Oh, you could have it.
No, your old job is a mortician's assistant.
Right.
I almost had it. And I was told at that time, my wife's like, no, because something will follow you home and we'll have problems. And so it was axed. But this is great news. I saw Frog G showed up in chat.
Oh, cool.
Frog G is for all the people who haven't met Cindy Kep and vice versa.
Right.
If I say that, you understand. Brothers and sisters, Brother Love has come forward because good Lord gave you 2 hands. And when you see your brother or sister in need, you reach down with that hand because that's what it's there for. And when you're in need, you reach up to the Lord because that's what he's there for. Now.
And I saw her face and I was a believer. Oh, sorry, that was another Neil Diamond song. Sorry. Anyway.
And my eyes are not black as coal, but everyone can hear me sweat. Anyway.
And they came back from the location soon in the show, and there's a manatee.
That's what I have breached from the surfaces. Why do you think my partner is a Florida preacher? Of course I have the spirit of the manatee upon me. Yes. Oh, God, yeah, if you haven't seen me live, this is moderate because I'm a little tired. I'm still off caffeine. It's been a few weeks of no caffeine.
Oh.
But, yeah, guys,
I couldn't live like that.
Oh, thank you. No, what's happening is this daylight thing is on. So the lighting in here, because I've had lighting issues, is humanity.
Oh, the humanity.
Humanity. Yes, I am defiant of the dark and grumpiness. I know there's some dark sticky magic that sits in the corner where
that's
it
different.
belongs.
That's
I
different.
Understand that.
That's a little northeast, a little northwest of us. You bewildered somebody. Good work.
That is my job. There are rants needed to be going on, skunk. If I have all the same energy, I can either be angry like, or I can be like, hey, let's have a good day. In fact, I will force you if I have to fall on my face to make you smile. Friends, I will fall on my sword for your very amusement if that is what it takes to get this week rolling. Because this week is important. We are marching into the far rest of the year. Things are hail, frog. So it's a book about you know what? I actually there's a wonderful book, Knife Fighting Techniques from Folsom Prison. I'm not kidding. It's a real world. If you want the most practical, I cannot remember the author, but literally he went to prison. He stayed in prison a long time. Did martial arts and described how to train to prison. If you want ugly, see, he's got to affect your face. Ugly. See that stretch, folks? You guys are artists. Use that. Get somebody animated in your life so you can steal expressions. Ugly. Techniques of brutality. Because I train people as a way of learning the sword to better themselves and empower themselves and self-defense. Thank you, Frog G. I appreciate the support. Frog G's always got my back. He made me these dice.
Frog's awesome. Frog's awesome.
He literally made, and they glow in the dark. They're amazing dice.
They're radioactive. The Chernobyl collection. Cool.
Maybe that's why my third eye needs Visine sometimes. Anyway,
it could be.
But absolutely. Oh, now, there are all an improvised weapon show would be a very different thing. I'd have to be careful for YouTube algorithm permissions. But I do, for my actual physical students, always try to have a day where I sit them in an environment and I say, okay, what are you armed with? And I then proceed to teach them to evaluate their surroundings as what could be used for self-defense and what will get me what I need in any situation. The running joke is to get me to be unarmed, I'd basically have to be stripped naked in a parking garage, and I'd still be trying to use the light angles to gain a benefit. I mean...
We call it Chan Fu in my house.
Absolutely.
You get it. You get the reference.
Highly influential in what makes me a me. Mm-hmm. Because, that level of improvisation, I tell people fight like a Sith. You ever see a Sith open up a fight? Do they we will nobly stand here? No, they're throwing stuff. They got their dudes. Sith never roll up alone. They're like, dudes, get them.
Yeah,
Take care of my light work. That's how you find out if they're not light work. You send your dudes.
exactly.
You know?
And don't ever trap me in my kitchen. One of us will leave, and it will be me.
Point of order.
Yeah, exactly.
Point of order. I made this, ironically, out of a cutting board. Okay?
Oh, funny.
Literally, it's out of a thick cutting board with a twist grip. I made this because I was talking to somebody who was a sword fighter with me.
Right.
And I'm like, well, what do you own a sword? No. Well, what do you do if somebody breaks into your house at night? Well, I usually get a knife out of my kitchen. So do you train with a kitchen knife? They don't make them. Hey, buddy. 1 second. Get your Mountain Dew and turn on Minecraft. I'll be out when I'm out. Okay? Sorry, that's called parental Tourette's, and normally I would mute it, but people need to normalize having kids and responsibility even while broadcasting.
Exactly.
So, back to what I'm saying.
Yes.
So I made this. This was my co-host Knifey for a while, but because they don't make trainers. Train with what you use, train with what you know. It's the same idea. If you're a writer and you're going to be writing pulp, maybe you should read pulp. Shockingly. I know Brian's put out some stuff. There's this whole magazine thing you really should be looking into. It's on my couch. But, if you want to read, it's like, I write about big stompy robots. If you open up one of Blaine Perdue's actual canon Battletech books, I'm in the dedication there with a bunch of other people, and the name Tockard is a region in the Battletech universe. Mm-hmm. Because I associate with people who like big stompy robots. Now, that's not Sarah. I'm talking to you, Sarah. Just because you like to read and write about morbid and terrifying things, do not prowl the darkness in a lacy thing, baiting the creatures of the night to eat you. It's not worth it. Really. The creatures of the night suck. Ask Joe McKeel if you don't trust me. And by that suck, I mean literally like,
Just that I'm still on that part about being alluring and dressing in lacy things and going out in the dark. I'm still stuck there.
Well, that's my job, you see.
Going out lacy things?
One-man derailment.
Yeah, it's a good derailment now. Because thank you very much, Sarah. I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and Brian has been there. Frog G, you are a fount of wisdom.
Yeah, and he's staying smart, and he's never apologizing.
Yep. No, I'm a proud.
Hello, Radio Rich for Future. Good to see you.
Oh, hi. Good day. Yeah, I know. There's some folks I hate to see them go, but love to watch them leave, and that just happens too in life. Now, let's see what else. See, my problem is I keep 15 projects juggling, and one falls into the done pile when I'm not looking. Hi, Keisha. Hey, you know what? Give my love to Jersey Devil. I haven't been able to see him in a while. And JD's like in my top 10 cryptids. And given the circles I travel in, hey, you stay cool. Stay cool, Frog. But yeah, I've been bugging Brian, and the only reason I actually said Brian Karl sent me the link was I thought something went wrong. So I saw the timestamp and I'm like, do you need coverage? And so I was sitting here and the show started and I'm like, okay, everything's good. I'll go make my breakfast, turn off the computer, take my phone. You're listening to and now it's time to laugh. Everyone throw your head
10 seconds.
Do that more. That's important.
Yes.
But I go back, I make my big old breakfast because that's important. And I'm doing my stuff and hey, there's a link. And I'm looking at my computer. Why aren't you starting? Start faster. Because, it's awesome, guys. If you get nothing from me, allow yourself to be uncool. Embrace the absurd that brings you joy. Because no one else, like the TV will tell you, this is cool. This is important. That is $12,000 for a purse with some rotten symbols that don't even give me an upgrade. Now, if that purse came with a personal shield or something, I might be interested. But, I'll just stick to a battered old backpack I've stitched together. Thank you very much. But, 40 years old. I am an adult, but I've patently refused to grow up. I don't have to be old. I can be mature. There's times for that. There are times when the humor has to stop and we have to do the all right, folks, let's get serious. But I hate that. I always feel like afterwards, like when I come back to myself, like, oh, I had to be mature. That's like mathing unnecessarily. Hold on, I gotta wash my hands. You grown-up cooties. But and that's why I have a new Nerf gun on my wall as a 40-year-old. I'm actually, because it was the first thing that made me excited when I heard about it in 2021. So I don't think 2021 was a shared illusion. Can we agree with that? Because it went 2020. 2022. You know what I mean? There was no transfers, no. But that being said, wow. Isn't it cool how it's happening? Okay, ignore the big news. The big news is all, saber rattle. I'm going to do something scary. You suck. We're not going to talk about the gesture off the camera. It's totally not the double deuce, We had Tuesday a while back.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that. That's the spirit. Sunflower seeds and Tuesday for all the people who need it. But
That's right.
Here, the cold has let up. The birds are coming back. I'm going to have to mow my raggedy lawn because it snowed on long grass, so there's hay in my front lawn. How awesome. I have a lawn to mow. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to plant stuff because if things run out, I'll still have stuff. You can do things like that. Okay? If you're scared and you're like, what am I going to do? Get dirt. If you own dirt, yay. If not, dirt can be purchased. Store-bought is fine. Mm-hmm. If you can't conjure the fires of hell, store-bought is fine. But get dirt. Get seeds of things you like to eat. Put in dirt. You've now done something. Because future you will have, sugar snap peas. And if all you accomplish is a bowl of sugar snap peas in your window, you have done something positive that will literally, the most primal human thing we can do is make a fire, roast meat on it, plant seeds, and eat the green stuff that comes out. You know what I mean? We can do that. Heck, I've made dirt out of old coffee grounds and composted it myself because of the situation, Find the little thing you can do to make your world a little better and do that. And even if you only do one a week, I'm not even saying a day, because that'd be a lot to ask of me on a bad day, what day is it? It's Tuesday. I don't know what to do with Tuesdays. Oh, yes, I do. But you can do that. And when you have it, you can walk by. I did that. Maybe I'll do something else. If you're writing, my books, it took me, this is 15 years. YEARS. Or as Michigan City taught me, YEEEERZ. Years. Looked on phonics didn't fail me. But to write this book. Okay. Now, freaking Robert Patterson, who I can rant about, has taught people that, hey, wait, he's cranking out a book every 3 seconds. Literally, my old library, half Robert Patterson. As a librarian, that stunk. Dude, take a break. And then it was, it's Robert Patterson and. Wait, and? And you start wondering, what's the percentages here? You know what I mean? And I'm not bashing a world-famous, best-selling author. I don't bash anybody. Because dude's got a system. But,
and it's working.
And he found his angle and he's rolling it. But You don't have to be that fast. What I'm writing, like the first book I wrote, yeah. My silly self used color. I used color because it needed color. For the stick figures. Yeah, I used stick figures. Stick figures are good. Then I printed it through Amazon. And that book costs me 4 times the author cost of this little guy. I set my prices about as low as Amazon will let me. I only make like $1 a book at the end of the day. I'm not going to lie. This guy, who's much cheaper. Now, they won't be as beat up. This is my office copy, so of course I'm flinging it like, all right, now we'll get back to the plugs. I did in all black and white, so it would be cheaper on the consumer. I learned a few things. The next few books will look more like this than that till I do an omnibus. I'm totally not plotting a hardbound, massive omnibus with photos and everything. I would never plot an ultimate edition at some point in the next while. No.
Yet.
Not plot like. I have a pile of novellas that need to be sorted. And what happened is I realized 2 or 3 of them were the same story from different parts. So now I'm like, wait, I've been writing the same story and didn't know it. Click, click, click. Ah!
Yeah, but you got away with it, so.
Thus far. Well, I haven't yet. It hasn't been published yet.
Oh, okay.
It's out, it will. But my point being, that's awesome. Create something. And one other thing, don't just plug. Wait, what? Nick, don't just plug? No, always plug. But don't just plug. Because I go online and I follow a whole lot of people. And a whole lot of people have a whole lot of Kickstarters in there. Here, we're going to watch this Kickstarter. There's a little burnout starting to go on. So make sure you have something to say other than buy my stuff. I do want you to buy my stuff. But I genuinely, if knowing that everyone was happier, I'm not even saying happy, happier, and it cost me selling my stuff, that would be worthwhile. You know? Because that's what I want. I had an individual who's very dear to me came up, first year psychology, that first psychology class in, Nick, yes, a little bit of poli-sci under the belt. What would you do if they took everything away from you and said, they're going to take everything away, but everybody gets, will have a home. Everybody will have a home. Everybody will have food, necessities covered. What would you do? I'm like, done. Stamp. He goes, aha! You mean to say you'd give up all your swords and all your, your stuff and all your wall of cool that you've acquired? Yes. Because day one, I'd be walking by the garbage can seeing who's throwing out a chair. Or who's throwing out what. Or a level playing field levels the playing field. It doesn't have to be a zero sum. And if it is a zero sum, you just build back better. Not being political. But that's a neat phrase. I don't like that it got used there. But we can do that. And that's what 2022, this summer, this fall is going to be. Summer, I think, is going to be very recouping. And I would say there's going to be a lot of extra travel if gas prices don't go nuts. I mean, I'll pull out my crystal ball here. It's got a good record. My crystal ball is pretty good. And I'm going to say a lot of people this summer are going to lose their mind. One second.
I'll take it from here for a while.
No. We're good.
Oh,
we're good. That was my son informing me that I don't have a crystal ball.
Okay.
Hyper-literal.
Hoax is the next Wonder Man or woman. So
heck yeah. Okay. I'll be honest, I know nothing about you other than your name. I don't even know your alleged gender because Robin can go both ways. I'm a big Robin Masters fan.
This Robin doesn't go both ways.
Okay, cool. But that being said, more Wonder Woman is what I'm here for. I am. I can't spin all the way without tangling cords. But good morning, Eric. How's that skeletal horse riding? You know, you got to add those guys up.
He's
Or
riding
is it-
the skeleton horse.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you, Ryan.
porns your sack, man. It porns your sack. But anyway, yeah, we can do this. And this summer, people are going to be like, because all the insanity has settled down. They feel they're going to see each other. They're going to hang out. This fall, though, and the end of summer, after people have seen each other, like, I want to go to XCon, whatever convention that is. It's going to start. And we're going to have a whole bunch of people who are coming back. Yeah, I need to start writing. Yeah, I feel more like me. And good on you. If you are just feeling out, there is nothing wrong with that. We all have been through a lot. We're going through a lot. Not bashing. But the folks who've been in the trenches like, no, I am typing and writing and publishing and doing. And it's going to start. That's going to be, the harvest of a lot of people's work is really coming. Because the people and the rising tide types who built themselves up, built each other up, and have been producing something, I think that's when it's going to start really coming back to us. And I know that's still a ways off. It's like, well, what about now? Now people are still impact drunk from way too many historical events in way too little time. This is going to be one of those that you hit the turn of the millennium, you hit that next 20 years, and everything goes, I mean, since I graduated, the world's ended 3 times. I mean, and those are the ones that people count, not the metaphysical ones. You know what I'm talking about. And, Mandela effect, is it? I say Mandela effect again to see if it affects the algorithms at all. Anyway, because that would be a good deal, savings and coupons on all sorts of useful information. And again,
double coupons on Friday or Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays, absolutely. But we are at that point where we're going to start. I have to rebuild my whole con tables because they got cannibalized for other things, as happened. But it's going to start. And I want you guys, the hardest part of the marathon is, they say it's the wall. And that's when a lot of people quit. Because that period when you've done, I used to do long distance running. And I did cross country. Never did a marathon, but I ran for miles and miles and miles and miles and miles. They're like 20 miles, no big deal, but 26 point something, now that's a marathon. A lot of 20-mile runs. Now, if I make it to the mailbox without a cane, I'm like, yeah, victory conditions, y'all. Fat guy made it to the mailbox and back. But we are going. The worst part is right before the end. That's when people drop out. Like, people quit at the wall, but they fully run out of steam and just collapse. Sometimes in sight of the finish line because they just misjudged and they overburned and there's nothing left to draw on. And that's where a lot of us are as creators. That's where a lot of us are as people, especially. This is a shout out to my empath folks. You know who you are. You're the ones people message at 3 a.m. when they don't know who else to talk to because there aren't enough priests, preachers, and counselors doing their gigs. So a bunch of at-rank amateurs are forced to hold people together. Hi. Anyway.
Yeah.
It has been a long, dark tea time of the soul for a lot of us. It's going to get better. I am going to say this. While I have a venue that isn't mine and has a bit more audience, please check on the strongest person you know. This sounds odd. The one who's held it together when everybody else has fallen apart and they're all... Check on those. Now, you don't need to message me. Thank you. No, but seriously, check on those people because those people have been holding it together for everybody. And if you're messaging them at an odd hour because they're always there for you, you may have to look beyond your bubble to realize they're not just always there for you. They've always been there for, it's like my man Brian over here, this guy who's hiding right now. Right here, I know I could message him at any hour, and as soon as he was awake, he'd respond. I mean, snarkingly, I'm like, send me the link, thinking I was helping. And he's like, oh, Nick wants to get on? Bam, let's do this. But he's been that for just everybody. It's farther on my side of the computer. This list of people here, the ones who know him, know he's been there. Look at the Bryans in your life and check on them. They won't want you to. I'm one of them. I understand. They will be horribly uncomfortable. But life's a bitch sometimes. And you have to be uncomfortable about the fact that people give a genuine damn about you. You've done a positive thing. Like I've said it before, and I'll talk about it till the day I die. If I ever make it big and I'm sitting in a panel at some convention, probably with Luke Stone, hopefully with Brian, I will talk about how in 2020, when the world was falling apart and everybody was being completely F-tarded, Brian was there every morning, even though it was tearing him up, to be a light. I'm not going to forget that. And a lot of people aren't, but most people don't know how to articulate, or they're afraid. We have a fear to look less than strong. We have a fear to admit this hurts. We have a fear to be uncool. But humanity is not cool. Humanity is sincere. Humanity is caring and feeling and thinking. But we've been taught that by modern media that, men are supposed to be these sociopathic, always even every hero's always cool. You're always cool. You can have PTSD because apparently that's become cool. God. But, sociopathic. Yes, I can do all this all the time. And that's why there's a thing where men work their butts off and then die 2 weeks after they retire. It's just like that marathon. So if you value people like Brian, don't just support them. And you should. He's running the ticker of safety that says these opinions don't necessarily apply to me. He needs to run the ticker of, hey, you know what? If you like what I'm doing, maybe send me a PayPal. Maybe buy my books. Maybe join the Patreon the man has. Me, I am broke. I make $50 a month across everything that I do personally. I make about $50 a month. And because most of that comes from my Patreon, it goes back into serving my YouTube's Patreon, because that's what that money's for. I'm either upgrading my fixtures around here, which means saving, or I'm buying something to review that I've been asked to review, like lightsabers. Just because it's cool doesn't mean it's not service. But if you have it, support Brian. Support the people who make your world a little better. By all that is good and holy, support Cindy Kep. I mean, if you've done anything on this channel, she has plugged you. Seriously. Support that woman. www.ckepp.com. But, and Frog G's got Operation Wrench. He's doing a comic thing. He had to hop off. I see him in the circles that I travel with because I know Luke Stone. He does what Cindy Kep does there.
Yeah, he does.
And maybe you've noticed this. I'm reaching out and I'm hanging on to people like that. I'm hanging on to the people like that are in our list. People like Brian. Because you have to. And it is okay to let go of the people who you pour energy into and you don't get anything out of it. And I don't mean money. Yeah, speech impediment will not let me say that R word. But I'm talking about that there's a connection, that you are better for it. One thing I learned about myself is I have a flaw. I water dead plants. And I heard this somewhere. I wish I knew who said it. My brain won't hold on to it. But I have poured so much energy into trying to maintain a plant that's already dead, that it's draining. And a lot of people do. And one nice thing about 2020 was it isolated me. I've never been as isolated as I'm like now. And then just chunk. Massive amounts of time alone. A lot of us. Here's the thing. I'm a bit of a philosopher. I'm keeping Brian up late. I'm sorry about that, Brian.
No.
But
Need to hear it.
At every major philosopher, and I'm serious, from Buddha on out, you take your saints, you take Buddha, you take a lot. We're going to walk right on past Sigmund Freud because he's got this whole mother thing. But they were either wealthy enough they didn't have to worry about day-to-day feeding, or they were in prison where they didn't have to worry about day-to-day feeding. They had nothing to do but take time and think. And across 2020, huge thousands, maybe millions of creatives, all they could do is think and communicate like this. And as soon as this went off, click, the world would go away again. As soon as the live stream stopped, you're either watching it or you're blessed like I am to be part of one. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome, bud.
In this moment, we're all in a digital room. And it's not the same as being in the same room, but in some ways it's more freeing because we're not worrying about our face looks like. We're worrying about what's being said, what people feel, what they're expressing. It's ironically more about the content of the character than the color of the skin, which is kind of a big deal. And now that we're getting let loose into the world, remember that moment when you turned off the live stream and you looked around the house and it was quiet because there's nobody on the roads. There's nobody over. It's just you in the quiet. And it was a very timid thing and a very still thing, a very crystalline moment that we all have experienced. And that gives a refraction on our soul, folks. That gives us a chance to look in and see who we are in those moments. And a lot of us feel lacking because we don't see the light we produce. A candle doesn't have a shadow. The flame of a candle, if you shine a light on it, doesn't cast a shadow. That's because it can't see its own light. We don't see our own light, so we were forced to sit for a while. But some of us, and many here, it grew. We basically were like, maybe we're not as bright as we need to be. And we don't know yet how much growing we did in the dark, in the quiet. I'm a huge Babylon 5 fan. And, I'm going to misquote it because, yay. But there are only two kinds. Everything is either a moment of transition or a moment of revelation. And while everybody thinks this is a big deal, all this has been, for years, a massive stretched moment of transition, of transformation. Most of the people here have been in a cocoon and not even known it. And we are coming to a point where that cocoon's going to break, okay? There's going to be a light that comes out, and you are not going to be what you were before you went in. And we're almost there. But this is that key moment to double check. Some people became darker. They let the cold and the fear and the hate, the powerlessness invade and corrode and compress them into coal. And some of us endured it, and we're scarred as hell. But we're coming out having been a light. And don't lose sight, because Brian isn't the biggest person in the universe yet. Okay? Brian isn't the spotlight that is mainstream TV or, any of the talk show hosts or anybody who affects millions of people. Or even the brighter lights that are closer in our life that seem brighter. But in the darkness, when all seemed lost, it never is, but it seems lost. Brian and people like him were little sparks that lit the way, that kept you going. So don't lose sight of that when the glory of daylight is let loose on you. don't forget the people who were those sparks. Because as soon as the sun sets again, for whatever reason, it tends to do that. They'll still be there if they're taken care of, if they're respected, if they're nurtured. So please, please, be that light and nurture that light in others and in of yourself. I sign off my videos every time with a few things. I tell people, do your drills. Because you're not going to be better if you don't put the hours in. Keep your guard up. You're not going to survive if you don't pay attention. Be kind to yourself and each other. Because that's the well front we draw our energy from. And then I thank them for supporting their local swordmaster, which, ironically, through this digital media, usually is me. If you find somebody who does what I do better, go for it. You know, I've always styled myself as the elementary school version. I want to give people a hand up like this. I'll put my arm up. Please don't step on my face, but I'll put my arm up. And then it's like, here, there are others. Go. You're better equipped to deal with it. That's my job. I'm just a footstool in the cosmos. If I can get you a skosh closer to the next level of whatever it is I do, that you do, if I can encourage you or whatever, step on my hands. And Brian here's like a freaking escalator. He's like, hey, you know what? I go up all the way to this level, and I know this guy, these guys, those guys. If you go to this website, you can get resources, but you're going to have to step on the escalator. And poor Brian, I see it every week. He's standing behind people and his feet are sliding like, step on the escalator. I need one step. It's like, I know it because I have friends. I'm like, just publish it. Finish the story. Well, it won't do well. It won't do well if it never leaves your computer. And it's, you do not know the frustration. It's like I'm straining my soul to say, put a pinky toe, publish something, because if you get 1 cent for it, one shiny penny, you will have gone over that line from being somebody who wanted to do something to the person who did it. It's not about how much success, it's that you accomplish something. Because that's where you start. You're like, hey, and I'll tell you what, success is addictive. Like, I check my things, and I sell a couple books a month. And, you know, I look at numbers, and I'm like, you made in one deal as much as I make in a year. But you know what? I made something in a year. You know? You can't put yourself, you can't be like, I'm not Neil Gaiman. Nope, but I'm not the dude who's sitting with a story on his computer and not doing nothing with it because he's worried it'll suck. Guess what? It might. I have a novel. I wrote my first novel in college. Some friends have seen it. I've looked at it to edit it. And then I have to go eat because I no longer have lunch. You know? But someday I may actually spin that straw to gold. But right now it's got to look. I got to pick the manure out of it. You know what I mean? I've ethically sourced that straw from elephant poo, apparently. You know, and I would never be like, hey, Brian, plop. You know. As somebody who's helped with editing and discussioning on things, discussioning, it's a word.
Discussioning, yeah.
You know what? If Willie Shakespeare could make up words on the fly, so can I. Anyway.
We might discussionate that sometime.
We might discuss. I'm all down for some discussionation. Man, you been in Michigan City? You want to confabulate? Let's go.
I'm from Danville, Illinois. We make up the dictionary there all the time.
So. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was more impressive when somebody gave Tolkien crud for saying dwarves and not dwarfs. He's like, I know it's listed in the Oxford Dictionary. I wrote the Oxford Dictionary. Leave it. It's like,
yes.
Thunk. You know? That is the literary doth thou even hoist? Yeah. But and yeah, I have part of what I'm doing. I do my plugs no different than I would if I were in the comments. But this isn't about plugging because this show isn't about plugging. Usually, and that's what's great about it. It's about the people because I'm far more interested in what Skunk Rocker's doing because of who Skunk Rocker is and what Skunk Rocker represents and his journey.
Back in a minute.
Go ahead. I can keep talking. Because he does things. Let me look at. I'm going to scroll down, check the comments a little bit, make sure there's nothing. Oh, I'm glad you guys are having fun. All right. Ooh, new comments. Wow, I had a huge comment dump. They do happen, people. Oh, hi, Cindy. I didn't even see you come in because I was prattling. Okay, I hope you're still here. Anyway, but yeah, Cindy Kemp does amazing things, but she's also an amazing person. Brian said, I have a large portion of the Brian K. Morris library because I took that stimulus check. I took a chunk of money. I went, Brian K. Morris, give me everything you got because he needed it. And I've had wondrous things to read and peruse through the course of the pandemic because it's interesting. And that's what we need, guys. Be interesting, good people. And goodbye to everybody who left. I'm sorry. Hey, Cindy, Sarah, I'm sorry. I'm used to running my own show, so I keep trying to click on your comments, Sarah. You're right. PTSD is why I actually went into studying psychology as a minor. So, yes. It could happen. I know I would never take Michaela's stuff. I usually, well, I might. I have a Thursday show. I might do a Tuesday show. I'm debating it if I can keep my mornings running. I don't normally go this late. But guys, we're having a great time, and that's what's important, isn't it? So, you okay there, Brian?
Yeah, you earlier you said, well, I was probably going to the bathroom, and then I thought, well, I got a co-host. I might as well avail myself of the opportunity.
That is what I've told you. You need a co-host for how long?
I need to be the co-host, dude. You're on a roll here. Now I gotta agree with Glenn Fleming here. You're a breath of fresh air.
I try. I just, I just want to see folks happy. That's why, like, I tell people I'm the inverse of Johnny Cash. Johnny Cash, let me explain. Aside from the fact I can't sing, I can't dance, and my guitar is abysmal, Johnny Cash always wore black. Mm-hmm. Johnny Cash always wore black to remind the folks who are in prison excessively and the people who are suffering. Right. So he his whole songs are why he's the man in black. I try unless laundry has caught up with me, when I go out, when I'm broadcasting, I actually, Brian hit me the link, and I'm like, shoot, I need a Hawaiian shirt, and I had to go run and grab a Hawaiian shirt because we need light, we need goofiness. Hello, Illusions of Spiritual Truth. Wow, is that a name? I'm sorry, that pinged right up. I'm like, that's a great name, but you gotta let me know if I'm going too long.
Hi, Illusion. No, you're fine. No, we are going to get to comments.
Okay. Do you want me to back up a bit? Because I don't want to override those guys.
No. You want to hang out?
Oh yeah, I'm fine staying here. I mean,
okay, because I marked where I left off.
Oh, cool.
Because you can do that in StreamYard now.
I actually had another comment dump. Guys, they happen. It's like new comments. Oh no.
Yeah, see?
And that's why I was like, oh shoot, Nick's been on a roll again. This happens on the guild. I'll get going. And there's a question from an hour ago. Shoot.
Nick, I do want to say, thank you. Thank you for being here. You said a lot of things I think a lot of us, including me, needed to hear today.
Well, I try to be of service.
You are, man. You are. You don't know how much you are. And you talk about light, you're one of the major ones too. So don't discount yourself, all right?
Well, thank you. I mean, see, and what did I say? As soon as you point that back at me, I'm like,
yeah, see, because I was sitting here writhing under it.
I know, but you need it more. You need it more because you do more for more people. So you need it more. It's
Maybe
like
I was like I said, I was having a moment. I've had a few days of a lapse of awesomeness.
one,
Uh,
you know where I am.
I
You
know
call me.
I
Let's confirm.
suck at the very same thing you outlined earlier. I'm
No,
terrible at
no.
that.
See, this isn't like
I barely tell Cookie what I'm up to.
No, you're having problems. If you have to, I'll get my wife. She makes sushi. She makes sushi almost as good as the store. Well, actually, better than the store, par with the restaurant.
Ooh.
Well, we'll do something, Brian. Like, don't.
We're going to, man. Seriously.
Especially as things open up. I don't want you if you're bummed, you reach out because I don't want to lose anybody at the finish line.
No. I'm not wired for that anymore. So it's just just wait, and things were starting to sort themselves out. So
hey,
it's all right. It's just that they didn't sort them out until the show. So
it's Jake Lindsay with a new account again. Okay.
Oh,
you changed names like I changed Hawaiian shirts, friend.
Good morning, Eric, and thank you for sharing, Ryan. And let's see here, and then of course we have this incredible person here who's reiterating the message. And check out Ryan's Nerd Culture. And Skunk, if you're still listening, talk to John B. Pica about wanting stuff. And Karl Witsman agrees. And there's stuff, and it launched now. And well, it should have held off because we're doing far more important stuff here. So anyway, check out the thing at Indiegogo for Glenn B. Fleming's brand new project. And well, you expect me to remember this stuff? Come on! And it launched. Everybody's now. This is why I'm hiding the cutlery. But anyway, so
do you need more cutlery? I can send you some.
Oh, we got a knife downstairs that was sent to us by my sister-in-law, who I have really good knife skills. I've worked in a restaurant before. I've cut myself about half a dozen times with this thing, and badly. This thing is scalpel sharp, but Nightfall at the local comic shop, it's a good book, really good book, and check out the stuff that Ryan Permisson is doing, and we are working at it. Yeah. And the weekend was nuts, but anyway, we touched on it. Hope your mom is okay, and if you want Ryan Permisson on a show, please talk to him. And here we go. And yes, and definitely get that book that Mr. Tockert there, that sexist
shameless self-promotion. Sorry. That's
all right. That's all right. And Back in Stereo Box is needing some creative things. Go rebrand the network. I understand that. And you aren't the only one, Rick Bradley. And yes, again, congratulations on the employment at the Hampton. And we agree with Carl. Fantastic. And we love you too, Sarah. We really do. And yeah. That's the theme of the show most of the time. And let's see, here we go. Yes, and nobody has seen Nick live at this hour before, so this is a sample, folks.
I am so contained on the chats. I have to sit and okay, 1, 2.
We got to work out a ways that you can share this account. We got to set you up sometime so you can pop in here.
Oh yeah, I'd love to crash your party.
Yeah, seriously, I'd love to have it. And yeah, a lot of it going on. And let's see. And Sarah has got some specialized skills about sanitation. And that's why she's got that gig at the Hampton. And way to go, young lady. And so, way to get up about falling Nick, hard as hell sometimes, but definitely worth the effort. Always worth the effort. And let's see. And Glenn Fleming's listened to part of what I say, washing hands. Let's see, here we go. And for the Small Press Publisher, what if you feel your personality is flawed? At times I feel my show suffers due to my personality when it comes to some topics. We all have that spot.
You know what? There's a double edge to that. Part of it is imposter syndrome because you're doing something. And part of it is if you feel you have a flaw, this might shock you, but you can address it. Mm-hmm. If you feel you're like, I know when I'm in a really good mood, I can be a lot. And some shows like this, I can just and let it rip. Sometimes I have to pull back the nickdom and be like, here. So don't be afraid to honestly talk to people you trust and be open to criticism. Because it's really hard when you're a one-man show to take criticism. And you are one of the most one-man show people I've ever met. You're used to, I do my comic, I write what I want, I draw, I animate what I want, I don't care what anybody thinks. Yeah. Every virtue in its excess is a vice, and in its absence is a vice. So you can be really good, but it can go too far one way or not enough. Honest self-evaluation there, Joe. But I think with a little bit of work you can improve. And if you find yourself straining to be something you're not, don't be it. Because people will recognize sincerity over everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if I overstepped on that one, but
no, it sounds good to me. I was about to add, though, on a technical sense, owning our own channels, we get to see analytics where we can see the rise and fall of our audience. You might consult that and see if, like, say you get on a rant, you start to drop some people. That might be something. And also ask yourself whether it is, I don't know if you could call it a personality flaw. In fact, I refuse to. But what if you're talking about something that you're passionate about, and it then turns out that maybe your audience isn't? I agree with Nick. Don't change just for the audience. People will sense that, and they'll, just the opposite of a shark. They'll swim away from the blood. But the thing is, if it's a subject you're passionate on, then I say stay passionate about it. Like I go on rants about COVID constantly because, we don't know how close, we may never know how close we came. And the thing is, it won't be the last pandemic. There will be others. And if we aren't careful now and develop the habits, and stand down, Carl, I'll be finished in a moment. See, this is evidence of it, that I feel passionately about these things because we got a lot of other things to worry about right now. But also think about if it ties to those moments when you are passionate about a subject, then if it's important enough to address, then let that audience that needs to hear it find it. And don't change just because of that. So, just
I would rather tell my truth to one person than lie to get a million.
Exactly. Well said. And Radio Retro Future, glad you're here, sir. And you always sound on the ball to me, Joe. I couldn't agree more. And Karl Witsman says certain viewers will like your personality and some will not. You can't change that. And don't change your personality to make someone else happy. Be yourself and collect up the folks who like your take on things, the truth. All right. And 100%, this is great. And hello, beautiful Keisha Acuff. Mwah. And Nick, if it weren't for that bad day, you wouldn't have that whiteboard of awesomeness that is a makeshift Phineas J. Whoopi three-dimensional blackboard. I get that.
I may have upgraded that recently.
That's a sweetie. That's a beaut there, I'm telling you. And Glenn Fleming says the people who complain are usually the ones that can't do anything. And Frog G, thank you for being here, brother. Always glad to see you. And great opportunity come from mishap. Great discoveries come from mess up. It all has balances. And Acuff Creation says, hope you all are doing awesome. Sorry about your ground time. Must be Nick. Anyway, autocorrect hates her, but we love you.
Autocorrect hates me too, and my typing is worse. I could never. I typo my own speech, hon. You've got nothing to worry about. And yeah, I said, hon, I'm old.
But you're not elderly. So, and I'm getting elderlier in a few days. So anyway, Sarah finally. What?
Do we need to do something for that? Is something going on for that? If you're getting elderlier in a few days?
I'm getting elderlier. Yes, I have a birthday in a few days.
See that? No, he's being nebulous. Oh, don't do anything for me, so I won't give you the dates.
No, use the oxygen for someone that needs it. Save the gravity and keep someone else on Earth. It's okay. I'm turning 66 on Wednesday. And I know I don't look a day over 75. I'm ready to accept the compliments. But anyway, Sarah says, finally able to that's why that's why I figured that was part of my solution to something that was happening. And that's why Wednesday we're going to be on an hour early so that we can have some people on that are doing some creative things, and we're going to talk to them. And that's my birthday gift to me. Anyway, Is this like the second cousin to the Clue Bat? Yes, Brian, you're going to get a happiness enema in a second here. Or in this case, a kindness enema. It's going to turn me into a candy apple.
Sorry.
Anyway, Sarah Spite, yes?
Just seemed necessary. You're fine. Go on.
Okay, yeah, finally able to pay it forward since Sarah by keeping staff and travelers safe. You rock, girlfriend. You rock. It's an amazing journey to get to this point. We cheer for each other and we grow. And I got to tell you, I've known Sarah for a long, long time. And watching her literally coming out of her shell has been so gratifying. And that's true. Yeah, there we go. And she also had an interview with the wrong hotel. That's a story in itself. And Nick, sometimes it makes you wonder how right Gene Roddenberry was with the tech in Star Trek. That's true.
Well, it's also a cycle. He inspired stuff.
Yeah.
So even if he wasn't right, people went, this. We went from communicators to the little pad guys.
Yeah. Well, here's something else that not many people know about is Star Trek has made some amazing predictions. They predicted what day of the week Apollo 11 was going to launch.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, here's something Star Trek is credited for that they actually did not inspire, and that's the taser. Because everyone thinks it's like the phaser. No, it was the old Tom Swift books. Thomas A. Swift's Electric Rifle, the very first book.
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay.
See?
Once again, my geek flag has flown a little higher than usual. Yes.
Mine too. Yes, I'm proud to say stuff like that. And maybe I'll have two jobs, Sarah, says Karl Witsman. And Sarah says, Nick, I think you'd be great at having a show with Rodney Dangerfield if he was still alive. Meant as a compliment.
Oh, well, neither of us can get any respect, but
yeah, and if he had it right now with Rodney Dangerfield as he is, Nick would have to carry the whole load himself. So anyway,
so what's new about that?
That steak is so fresh; it still has jockey's whip marks on it. So, and right, Carl says, Sarah, the manager of the wrong one acted like he was expecting me, which increased the confusion. And Glenn's got the filthiest hands. He's either washing his hands of me or something. But anyway, Karl Witsman stays at the Hamptons. So anyway, that works. And yes, it is good to be able to do things for others and maybe able to help peeps get a discount on a hotel room for SilCon. That would be great. And imagine Nick and Daphne on the same show. I'd buy tickets for that.
Oh my God.
Ditto.
Like every once in a while, guys, you don't understand this. I get a little starstruck by like people who do things. So
me too.
Actors don't always hit me as much, and certainly people who are famous for being famous just whong. But because I've traveled and I've done a lot of art in the anthropomorphic communities and stuff, my brain's like, Daphne, it's not. Oh my God, it is.
Yeah.
I mean, like, occasionally some names come through this feed that blow my mind, and hers is one of them. I have to like get over a bit of hang up, which I could do obviously because I just go hit the wall a couple times, and then we're fine. Cognitive realignment.
There we go. So anyway, Cindy Cap, good morning to
you.
Good
morning, Cindy. I love you. You know that.
We all love Cindy. She's awesome. And you got this, says Glenn Fleming. And Cindy Cap talks about Nazis getting Steam. Check out the original Skyman Battles Master of Steam on Smashwords. And Volcana Pick Armoring. There we go. On Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion. On Amazon. Buy several dozen copies. And simple axes and swords, you need those from Amazon right now. And I'm waiting for the pharmacy to show up with the Thorazine that I'm going in.
Those are the darts from those dudes. Guys, look. This whole cryptid talk, gotta pull it down. Because, like, the nice guys in black helicopters and matching SUVs start cruising around. There are reasons I'm not in Northwest Indiana anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't really like anybody all in the same color outfit. No, thank you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful what you talk about on here because dino porn haunts me to this day. And vampires wear their
Only the
sunglasses
good
at night. If
stuff.
you're John B. Pica, that is a great song. And check him out on Amazon right now with Night Right, great book. And the Dastardly Dingoes podcast do all kinds of weird stuff, and they broadcast too. Check them out tomorrow night with a special guest appearance from the crew of Comic Book Spectrum. They will be guest starring again and sending emails I need to listen to later. That is the Skunk Rocker Live. We love you, Skunk. And I forgot you were a father, Nick. How old is Xander?
He will be turning 13 in a couple weeks.
Oh, that's fantastic. That is so cool. And nerds are keeping things cultural. If you talk about Ryan Permison, and just kidding, we love Wild Nick Manatee.
I try. I'm actually this summer. There are a couple opportunities where I might actually get to see like real manatees. We're working on something on like that's not like business related. That's just bucket list, Like,
oh yeah.
Woo.
I feel it. And Amazons are not always on Amazon. Check out From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, also on Comixology. In Radio Retro Future, recently Battletech artist Eldon Cowger gifted me a drawing based on one of my stories. That is amazing. Check out Radio Retro Future. That is a super, super channel on YouTube. I've started checking them out. It's good stuff. And get your copy of Neurosis by Amy Hale. She's awesome. And Warriors in Triplicate. And then you got to check out Michaela Jade. God knows I have. And she'll be on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central with her thing. And Brian sent you a message on Facebook, Radio Retro Future. I will check that out when I'm back. And Omaha QuadCon is going to be there. Will you be there? Cindy Kemp will be. Then you've got to be there. That's all there is to it. And March 5th, I will be at Kokomo Con. With the address to come later, and JD is no longer part of Cryptid Crunch. Oh well. JD's lost.
They got him! I told you they're coming for us! Biggie, go! Oh, run!
Run!
Run in the forest!
And speaking of the hysterical Fencing Guild, definitely check them out Friday nights at 8 p.m. on YouTube. And please subscribe to that channel because it deserves all your love. And comic-related madness, if you didn't catch CromCon this weekend, go get the rerun from Pops Van Zandt and catch the new show in the morning, Luke Stone Studios, Thursday mornings at 9 Eastern. Nerd Bacon, a fun show. And you never know who's going to show up to heckle. And Sarah says, I told you guys about the job before my blood relatives. Priorities. # priorities. Good girl. And I published my first books in 2021. Yes!
Congratulations, Radio Retro Future. That's what we want to hear. Yes.
Definitely. Congratulations. And barely interesting books and comics, and soon an audiobook, excuse me, featuring the Skunk. Sorry about that. Bear Publications. And also you can get beautiful animal eye cups there. They are gorgeous, and I feel sexier just owning one. And Zombies Are in Oz. Check out Eric S. Hawkins, the Pro Slayer, and his stuff on Comixology. And Memoirs of the Angels, you need to talk to Brian Rodman about that. And not many get published, so congratulations. Yeah. And Stormgate Press, check out the work they're doing there. And good job, Radio Retro, and book reviews from the Land Down Under. Check that out. And drawing Animal Eye in his own series, Callie, you got to keep up on Roll Cruz. He's awesome. And Help for the Hurting, Victoria Adams, a great author that does some really, really super work. And Trolls Are Hero, too, if you check out SLL Rollin'. And yes, here we go, Nick. Here we go. I can join you on that. Hold on a second, see if I still have it up here. Yeah, here we go.
Maturity! I am an adult. I am a full-functioning card-carrying adult.
That's right. I'm about to have my card revoked. And anthologies of popular tales twisted abound. Ye Olde Dragon books. And each evening, says Sarah, I reflect on the day to see what I can do to improve the next day, no matter how big or small. Progress is progress.
Uncle Iroh is proud of you.
Yeah, seriously. And Radio Retro Future, they're called The Wrench in the Machine, and S36, The Call Girl. Excellent. Beautiful.
I've seen your stuff on Red Valkyrie, I think. That's cool.
I think I do. Yeah, that's cool. Fantastic. And Cindy Kemp is very colorful for Animal Eye. Denver Martirez is the colorist for Animal Eye, does great work. Check it out. And no kidding, Bobby Nash is an awesome writer. And just a little tip that may help at least one person to do. And Cindy Kemp ran out of break before we got to her. And there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Please check them out. Check out her website, ckoepp.com, and please sign up for a free monthly newsletter. And yeah, I've offered to stay at the hotel during any bad road conditions to keep everyone having to get off the interstate safe. And it's very important that everyone is safe. That's her calling. And it's not.
I dig it.
And it's looking past beyond yourself. Very, very cool. And much love for my friend here. And while I'm here, I want to see indie content in genres such as steampunk and cyberpunk. Can't have enough of that. I love that stuff too. And yes, self-care, Brian, very important, and okay to say no to a project, etc. for your mental health. And she says it is not, PTSD is not cool. It's heinous. I can't stand when people say things like that. So
yeah.
It is a bad thing. We recognize that. And let's see. And here we go. You never know. Michaela, better be careful. Looks like motivational mornings with the man-to-man might be a thing going forward.
Hey, I aspire to Jack Black levels of energy. That's like,
there you go.
Not the content, but I want that raw power source. Yeah, let's keep this up. If that's what happens, it happens.
It happens, man. I'm glad to see it. And Brian, are you okay? To quote Jackie Chan from Rumble in the Bronx, no. Anyway, now we're moving on. And love you guys. We love you, Sarah. Wow. Thank you for sharing your good news with us. And Radio Retro Future, glad you were here. And the Illusions of Spiritual Truth. Yeah, he made a new account. You called it. There we go. And Brian, remember when you promised a 12-hour furthermore? I think today is the day. Well, get me up to 1,100 subscriptions, and we will talk about this.
Arrangements can happen. I just need help watching my son.
Yeah. Well, when we have that 12-hour one, Nick, you're going to get the tap on the shoulder. Believe me.
Tap. I'll get the trank, and I'll wake up with this in your back room. I'll so hard.
Probably.
Let you go home, entertain the monkey.
Really? And this is his final name. Yeah, sure. I changed it because I got attacked by someone because the name was the Magic of Jake. They said I was doing witchcraft, so I changed it. That's the best reason to keep it. There are some people that need to be annoyed. And Scott Cracker says, John, I'll get back to you as soon as I get the okay from the project lead on the last thing I worked on. That took several months. If they're satisfied, he'll be open for commissions again. And that's scary. I did not watch that Hans quote. It came from. It looked like it came from you, dude. Maybe we got your evil doppelganger.
Futile.
That's right. Yes. You have been assimilated and sanitized. Maybe Sarah got to you.
Sarah. Your computer.
And apparently Carl has diagnosed Glenn as having the clap. Anyway,
there's a shot, fortunately.
That's true. And I've been watching and listening. Ace Bonnie, we feel better knowing that. I'm glad you're here. And 66 a baby. Yeah, it's 66. It reminds me, I've become a fan of a group called Wigwam, who provide the opening theme to the Peacemaker, that Do You Want to Taste It? And their first album was called 667, The Neighbor of the Beast. I love that.
There is a Lou Diamond Phillips movie called Route 666.
Yes.
It is a beautiful tribute to complete BS, like horribly good horror movie. And if you get a chance, please watch it.
That was good.
I'll apologize after.
That's right. And good evening for Mike Jimmy Lorsha de Bruin, but a day for us. Glad to see you, Mike Jimmy, you lovely guy. And here, there's a guest. How's it going, Nick?
Hey, you know what? I'm hopping and popping, stopping and shopping, and I will not be topped. Life is good. I'm sorry, my background showed a little bit.
That's right. It's all like gangsta from your back days. And Karl Witsman has to run. But everyone have a great day. You too, Carl. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did I talk over you? I did.
No, go on. I'm just blathering. It's fine.
I'm trying to catch up. I'm doing pretty good, too. Well, I guess the cat is officially out of the bag on that one. Like I said, I hope Cindy is happy with the results. Oh, yeah. And like the person attacked my dad, also, I don't want to stir the pot anymore. Stirring the pot is good. Art should comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. So definitely keep up with whatever you did to annoy that person. Keep it up. And do you, Nick, like Elvis type music, like Stand By Me, Under the Boardwalk, etc.? Yes.
The boardwalk.
Oh, yeah. And hell yeah, that's a spirit, Nick, says Mike Jimmy. And
we want to have.
And Pops Van Zandt, congratulations on another great Con this weekend. And we have caught up with the comments.
Woohoo! Does that mean you get to go feed Cookie?
No, she's at work.
Oh, then. No,
don't need me anymore.
Woo! Oh, I had my breakfast right before the show started, so life is very good for me.
Well, I had my breakfast too.
No. Get yourself some eggs, like egg beater or eggs.
Yeah.
You throw it in the microwave with some cheese, some cayenne pepper, put it in a spinach wrap with either honey mustard or Sweet Baby Ray's makes an amazing horseradish that I just found. Roll that bad boy up. Have some oatmeal on the side for yay fiber is good for those of us of gray beards and old guts. You know?
Yeah.
And you got to do it because if you underdo your breakfast, you don't have enough mojo for the day. Breakfast is important.
It's true. No, we did have breakfast. We did have breakfast at 4:30 this morning.
Oh,
but
okay.
I made an omelet. I made a pepperoni onion omelet.
Ooh. I'm all about that. Omelets and pizza live in a very close neighborhood. People don't even realize.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I was thinking, and since then I'm like, okay, Cookie with her allergy to tomatoes, I can make a tomato sauce for that out of banana sauce.
Do you do barbecue pizzas?
As long as the barbecue sauce does not have tomato paste in it or ketchup. It gives her migraines. But the thing is, we found something. Two of the Asian food stores in West Lafayette carry it. It's called banana sauce because back in World War II, they were relying on us to send tomatoes to the Philippines, but with shortages and everything and rationing, we couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. So they created banana sauce, which is like a little sweeter. Okay. But it looks like the real thing, and it tastes very much like the real thing.
Oh, bye, Donna. Sorry, I saw Donna.
No, that's fine, Donna. Mwah, thank you for being here, sweetheart. I'm glad you and Carl are feeling better. That is great. And doesn't mean I can go feed myself. You wouldn't know it by the way the front of my shirt looks sometimes.
Yeah. Unbutton the Hawaiian shirt, eat, wipe down the mess, return the Hawaiian shirt to its upright position. This is the way of the slob,
Yeah. And Illusion of Spiritual Truth hasn't eaten breakfast in 3 months. You must be starving by now. I have an early lunch most of the time. That works. And Mike Jimmy is waiting for his ordered dinner to arrive. As for breakfast, coffee, more coffee, and whatever I feel like, because I'm an adult.
Yes.
Rock on, Mike Jimmy. Right, rock on. And check out Life for Cora number 5.
Oh, yeah. I love the world building as a game guy because I do game design. I don't plug it as much because right now I'm doing stuff with Luke. But good world building is something that either doesn't happen or it's all somebody knows how to do. And I've been following the Life of Cora stuff, and it's got that. Yeah. I look for that when you open up a book, comic book, and they're talking about something, and you want to be like, no, I love the story. Second read through, because I do that. I want to go walk through this panel over and see what's behind that tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's got that depth, and I love that beautiful depth in world building.
I finally got on the Life on Cora bandwagon, and I'm so happy because when I had Mike Jimmy on Clever Title Pending last year, he sent me some sample pages, and I'm like, why have I not gotten into this before? What's wrong with me? So it was a treat. And hey, good world building is something both TTRPGs and comics should both have. And Jake has lost 17 pounds. Congratulations. Keep up the good work. Scott Parker, wow, you spit through those comments quick. Well, congratulations on another wonderful episode and have a great day. Go take care of the Cookie Monster. Well, you take care of yourself, Skunk, and congratulations on that gig. And we love you too, brother. Much love all the time. All right. And but no, I know what you mean about world building. As long as we're here, I'm doing I'm doing a book world building for the Terrors.
Oh. Okay.
It was going to be It was going to be like a Kickstarter add-on, but it's taking so much work and a life on its own that it will be for one of the sequels that I'm going to do eventually. But I realized this, and yeah, you don't think of world building. You think of like the world of Tolkien or life on Korra, this exotic thing. But I'm doing one on 1940s. Basically, it's a city that it's about half in my mind. It's about halfway between Indianapolis and Lafayette, but on the Wabash River, called Raceway City, that I use for a lot of my settings. And I am detailing basically the African American neighborhood that the Terrors works in. I started doing it as a thing just to keep it straight for my sake,
and then you end up with a product.
Yeah, because then I had to do like the Terror's life, his background. How did he become a pharmacist? Where would he study in 1930s America to get a pharmacology thing?
I admire your historical analysis, because vast majority of the time, like, I write sci-fi and I write fantasy usually, so it's all working forward.
Yeah.
It's much more challenging for a history nut to work backward.
It is.
Because then you have to find out, like, oh, he needed this much. How much money for a cab did somebody need in 1938? I actually was talking about world building on Nerd Bacon with Dave Grink, who's doing Perfect 10. I
saw that. That was a beautiful trailer.
And because I do Big Stompy Robots, which is the most silly name.
I love that name though.
But I have, I have the basic rules for just playing it, and I just made it. It literally started up to burn time at Starbucks so I could play with my son and other people. Mm-hmm. And then being me, and I loved like BattleTech, and I still love BattleTech. World building,
great environment,
in it. So I'm like, no, my world has to have that, and I'm like, okay, I'm building a world. What does it need? And the first thing, I didn't want aerial units. I wanted no flyers because I didn't want to deal with the mechanics. So I had to come up with a world building reason why there are crazy jet streams that keep planes from being safe. You get up more than 50 or so feet off the ground and you're just pummeled. And as soon as I did that, the weather changed and all this, anything coming to the planet has to be shot out of orbit and crash into the ground. So now I have 2 novellas plus all the lore in the core book. And I find myself living in this little town that doesn't exist on a planet that doesn't exist. Mm. And I can tell you, there's really good Chinese food right here. Uh-huh. It's from a little cart, Ask the Cat Chick.
Right. Yeah.
And it's so good because, when you do RPGs, it's all world building. Because you're the DM. You write a plot of things that are going on.
Yep. Whether
they intersect, and then you build around the story. And it's just, we need to do a whole video, you and me, and maybe some others, where we sit and we talk about the world building process, because I get questions about this. And I say, give me a second. I want to talk to Brian. We need to do something where we can go, okay.
We do.
Yeah,
we'll have to do that. Seriously. Yeah, let's make that happen. And let's see, Jimmy says, and that's the way to do it. Build the world as far as you need to. If it's a city, it's a city. If you need a continent, do the parts you need for the story. In my case, I have this one area, the less economically advantaged part of town that I know a lot about. I just say that the north side is basically the newer section where all the rich people moved in, and the east side is kind of middle class, south side is just kind of industrial, but the west side is where the original town was, and all the rich people moved out and left it for anyone who could afford to live there. So anyway, so you start with one concept and it blows up. And Cindy Cap says, I set the Ursulon duology in 1965. Finding the many details like food costs, what ads would be on a billboard, took a terrific amount of doing. Fascinating, though. Okay, back in lurker mode. And hit me up for that video anytime. I'd schedule 12 hours.
You know what? Brian, you might have something really useful here. I've never been one to, hey, here's an idea, poke.
Right.
You have all these authors who are talking about their worlds. Cindy Cap does amazing world building.
Yeah,
Mike Jimmy does amazing world building. Instead of just doing the whole, because I don't know about you, but we all get a little burnt out on the same format Kickstarter. Now we're all going to look at your Kickstarter page.
Yeah.
Instead of doing the Kickstarter page focus show,
Right,
that so many people are doing, do one where you grab somebody who has a project that's going or is currently available, like a Mike Jimmy, and have them tell us about your world. Don't, oh, you'll get this. Okay. You at the end will give you 15 minutes of an hour or whatever to do the actual sales pitch. But tell us the story. Tell us why this is going on. What process. Because so many people watch your channel as an educational as well as a purchase thing.
Yeah.
I think that would be fascinating, because I would love to just hear Cindy Cap go for however long about how Animal Eye is, how the world is, and just let them wallow in the joy of what the world has been built.
Mm-hmm. Well, here's the thing. Wednesday morning, we're going to start an hour early, and we're going to have a couple guys on. One talking about the artist who created more worlds than anyone else in comics, and we're also going to have somebody with another incredible world of his own. So we could segue into that. That is very, very cool, and that's a great idea. Actually, we'll do that from a future Clever Tile Penny, because it will come back one of these days. And here we go. The question for Nick: who was Blue Jacket the Indian? I found out he was on a battlefield 5 miles away from me.
Okay, I have to look that up. I have heard that name. However,
I have two, but I can't think of it. But
American
a good Googling
history
will help you, Jake.
Exactly. It's a simple Google search. I also don't know where you are, other than that name is familiar.
He's close to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati Blue Jacket. Okay, I know that name.
I've heard it, but I can't place it.
I want to say it's a warrior chief. I can't pull the nation out of my head right now. And here's something I pride myself on. I don't know. There are people, you can get on YouTube and everyone will give you an answer whether they have one or not. I will say, I don't know, but we can look it up.
Yeah.
And I really, if you search that up on Google and you just type in Blue Jacket Native American.
He's near the Battle of Grassy Run battlefield.
Well, yeah, like I said, I could search that and have the answer, but that would leave me from doing what I'm doing on this lovely show.
Right.
So what I would say is type in Blue Jacket Battle of Grassy Run. But you should be able to get your answer in about 5 seconds.
Yeah, and it'll lead you into an amazing journey of discovery if you fall down rabbit holes as easily as the two of us do. And hello again from Radio Retro Future.
Hello again.
Back. And Mike Jimmy says, that's what I did with Joe D. McPhee on his show, just 2.5 hours of constant chatting about world building and all kinds of weird things that influenced it. And now here's one. Now I don't think you can Google this one. How many Hawaiian shirts do you own?
Ballpark a dozen, because I got a whole bunch cheap, but they were like, they ended up being $2 a piece, but they got threadbare by the end of the season. So I don't know how many I've actually had to weed, but yes, I have many because I try to rotate them, because I'll walk through like stores and I've actually had like people walk up to me and they're laughing, usually with my yellow glasses, and my cane has fire going up it so I can go faster. And I'll see the smiles of people not wanting to admit that it's kind of funny to see a guy walking around in a dorky Hawaiian shirt. And I'm like, I don't mind if it's pointed at me. They're still laughing. And they're at Walmart, which is not a happy place a lot of times, So,
okay.
yeah, probably a dozen.
Yeah, and if you ever come to Non-Con, he'll send you the address to the battlefield. He thinks it's haunted near the Non-Con building. That's in southeast Indiana.
Oh,
we'll have to take a look for that. Jake, you can do the Google search and we might do it ourselves too. So anyway, Nick, thanks for being on here, man. This has been fun.
I've told you how many times, anytime, and I'll just run around.
I know.
Nice to see you test the theory. No, that's good. When people offer to help out, see it. When you don't need it, ask if they'll help. If they help, then you have an idea that they'll be there when you need it.
There we go. Well, I always knew you would be, man. I have
man.
total faith in you, man.
You forward me your address. Well, I need a card that works right now, but I'd get there. It might take me a while. I'd probably have Xander in tow, but I'd find a way to get to you.
Yeah. And Mike Jimmy says, it's a closer here for the bit. I saw this was an awesome show. Stay awesome, lovelies. You too, man. Glad to see you as always.
Creating good stuff.
Definitely. And so I think we will sign off at this point, Nick. And stick around, man. We'll talk a little bit more if you want. So anyway, let's see. I do my obligations here, and I am obliged to Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you. Every great book deserves a great cover. Check out Plasma Fire Graphics on Facebook and also on the interwebs at plasmafiregraphics.com. And then consult with Jeffrey Hayes about his independent, creator-friendly prices. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. And also check out the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. We've got entertainment and enlightenment 7 days a week. And every day is busy here at the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. Thank you, Vanna. And we have shows every day of the week. Please check them out and check out our Facebook page and give that a like if you would. And thank you to my Patreon subscribers. And please check out what we offer to you in exchange for your financial support. That's at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And Nicholas Anthony Tockert has one too. Nick, plug yours real fast.
My Patreon is thehistoricalfencingguild.com. I'm restructuring all my tiers in the near future. But that helps me not only provide the content online where I do videos where people can learn how to sword fight, but it lets me keep providing free content to people I know who couldn't afford any other way to learn how to sword fight. So
excellent. It's a great site. He does a lot of good content there. You definitely want to check that out, as do many of the people that you saw on that card there who will get mentioned in future books. And speaking of future books, we have new books right now. The Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland, The Skyhood of Kremlin, available now for 99 cents on Amazon by me. And also Biff Bam Eow, an essay on the second season of Batman. The third season is out right now. I'm going to get my comps real soon. We'll get a graphic up for that. Please check them all out on Amazon. And let me get to where I need to be here and see if I hit the right one. Okay, there we go. And as always, on behalf of my dear friend Nicholas Anthony Tocker, check him out Friday nights on the Historical Fencing Guild on YouTube. Thank you. And as always, folks, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, especially since Glenn Fleming was saying so earlier. And don't apologize for being awesome. Thank you. We'll see you Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern for a very special Never Mind the Furthermore. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you for watching Never Mind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Broadcast Network production. If you enjoyed any part of this show, please give it a like or a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and consider becoming one of our Patreon supporters. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Never Mind the Furthermore.